request our esteemed panelists to please join us on the stage. First, we have Dr. K.S. Jayachandran, IFS Special Secretary, Environment and Forest, Government of NCT of Delhi, Member Secretary, DPCC, and CEO, Delhi Parks and Garden Society. Welcome, sir. So, an IFS 2006 batch member with a PhD in horticulture and a PG diploma in environmental law, experienced in forestry management in Assam and Arunachal Pradesh, formerly contributed to capacity building at Eastern Forest Rangers College and CAS FOS, Dehradun. Accredited master trainer in forestry by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, later as Deputy Secretary in the Ministry of Law and Justice, managed the award-winning E-Courts project, currently serving as Special Secretary, Environment and Forest, and Member Secretary, Delhi Pollution Control Committee in the Government of NCT of Delhi. A huge round of applause for Dr. K.S. Jayachandran. Moving on to the next guest, Mr. Rakesh Kumar, IRS, Additional Commissioner of GST and Customs, Directorate of International Customs. Sir, can we have you on stage, please? Mr. Rajesh Kumar, hi sir, welcome. An IRS CNIT officer, currently serves as the Additional Commissioner at the Directorate of International Customs, New Delhi. His notable roles include serving as Additional Commissioner Anti-Invasion, CGST Commissionerate, Faridabad, and being a member of the FATF Core Group in Indian Customs, awarded the National Level GST Commendation Certificate in 2021. He has excelled in supervision and intelligence tradecraft. A St. Stephen's College graduate, Mr. Kumar is recognized for his academic achievements, including the Shankar Prasad Memorial Gold Medal and Commonwealth Essay Prize. So let's give a huge round of applause for Mr. Rajesh Kumar. Moving on, we have Mr. Sanjay Saxena. Mr. Sanjay Saxena is the Chief General Manager, DTC Transport Department, Delhi. Can we have a huge round of applause for Mr. Sanjay Saxena as well? Moving on the next set of guests, we have Mr. Ajay Agarwal, Regional Director, FADA Delhi, a professional turned into entrepreneur and currently biggest dealer for Tata Motors PV. Mr. Ajay Agarwal is the Director of Go Auto. He is also actively involved with FADA to help auto retailers grow their business in more inclusive manner. Moving on, our moderator for this evening, Mr. Sai Giridharji, Secretary, FADA.
We'll probably take a 2 or 3 minute break. Let Mr. Saxena join us. I think he's gone to see off the minister.
Before we start the session, till the time he joins us, I would like to introduce Mr. Sai Girdhar to all of you. He's a seasoned professional with 26 years in the automobile business, is a leading figure as the dealer principal of Volvo cars in Rajasthan and Skoda India in Jaipur, Ajmer, Alwar and Sikar. Graduating from Delhi University in Commerce, he entered auto sector in 1995 in Daewoo Motors, later transitioning to General Motors in Renault. In 2011, he became one of the Renault's first 13 dealers in India, consistently ranking among the top performers. So currently, as the dealer principal of Skoda, Mr. Giridhar continues to lead his dealership to outstanding performance in the Indian automotive industry. So a very warm welcome to all our dignitaries on the stage. Let's have a huge round of applause for them. So Mr. Sai Girdhar is going to lead the session, and I request panelists to take it away. The audience is eager to delve into this engaging discussion, so let's begin.
Ma'am, I think we're good to start now?
Yes, sir, please.
Or, you want to give the introductions?
Sorry?
The introductions are over, we can go?
Yes, sir, absolutely. The wait is over, now we're waiting for you to begin.
So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very interesting session, and the gentlemen whom we have with us are probably the key pillars for our industry. We all know pollution department, GST, and transport. So these are the key three pillars without whom probably we can't even survive for a day. So I would just suggest one thing. In case you have any questions during the discussion, you can probably note down. We'll be having, I've just taken the approval from them. We'll be having an open question and answer session post we have the discussions. We'll try to make it as interesting for you, but still, in case you have any questions which are left over, anything which you think that we have not covered during our discussions, you're more than free to ask these gentlemen. So let me just start with Dr. Jay Chandraji, that, sir, according to you, what should be the compliances which the dealers have to take nowadays, especially with the policies and the restrictions being very hard in dairy?
Thank you, Mr. Giridhar. A very good afternoon to all the respected audience here. And it's really a matter of pleasure that I could come and attend this particular August gathering. So, as Mr. Giridhar asked, what are the environmental compliances expected from the retail industry? I mean, as far as the automobile retail industry is concerned, especially the showrooms, there are no environmental compliances, or the consent is not required as such from the pollution angle. But when your industry is associated with washing facilities or the service stations, so if the particular showroom has got a service station, then perhaps you fall into the consent bracket. So you need to take CTE and CTO. And when we look at the ease of doing business, I was discussing with Mr. Giridhar that, I mean, all the consent systems are now online and absolutely faceless. So, I mean, any industry which requests a consent, they can go to the website, upload a set N number of documents, and here you go. And there's also a provision for deemed consent. So, if because of the Pollution Control Committee, if you don't get the consents on time, after set X number of days, the consent is deemed. So that is also a great step or direction towards ease of doing business. So apart from, if we look at the future for the automobile retail industry, as far as environmental compliances is concerned, it's very important to understand this industry is a very growing and a very major kind of a stakeholder in the economy, national economy, as well as Delhi's economy. So it's very important to understand that it's very crucial for this industry to be sustainable from the environmental angle. So if I am to point out a few realms in the environment, then I would definitely say that the automobile industry plays an important role in air pollution, number one. Number two, water pollution, if the showrooms have washing facility, and then it plays a big role in water pollution. Number three, if it includes a paint booth or if it generates hazardous waste, then yes, number three, hazardous waste. And number four is your batteries. Because when we look into the EV revolution that's happening, the future is definitely going to be sustainable recycling of batteries. So these are the four important realms within the environmental sector, which the retail industry has to keep in mind in the future. And of course, the ease of doing business part, wherever compliances are required, we have made sure that it's all online.
Thanks for giving us an insight, boss. But see, as far as our industry is concerned, so you rightly pointed out the four things which are the ingredients and which probably we need to take care of. But we guys are already governed by our OEMs. And before we start our operations, so each of these things, say for example, if you talked about the paint booth, the washing, the disposable of batteries, taking care of the used coils, used oils. So even before we establish our, we start our establishments, everything is taken care by our OEMs. There is a regular audit every 3 months. There is an audit, but still we find ourselves in the orange zone. And why? And since we are in orange zone, specifically in Delhi, we now have issues wherein we don't get washing facilities in our workshop. I understand every one of us has cars, and if we send it for service, I guess the first criteria is we know when the car comes back is only by the quality of washing of that car. Unless and until the car is properly washed, we don't realize that it is being serviced. Ajay ji, correct me if I'm wrong, please.
Yes, that's very true. And since 2020, the department has not been issuing the fresh CTO with washing. So that's.
So what I'll request is if something can be probably done on this. I know it's more of a policy kind of a decision because the order, I guess, came from NGT.
NGT, yes.
So the order came from NGT. But see, now the technology is such that in all our service centers, we've got ETPs installed. We recycle the same water. So it's just like using the water in any of the industries. So if probably an R would be the least in an industry wherein the least possible water is being wasted. I should not say polluted because we don't do any discharge of polluted water. So it's like we waste the least water. So if something can be done for us in that, it would be really helpful for the industry as a whole.
Sai, I would like to add here, see that order of NGT came more specifically towards the hazardous waste disposal. And since in automobile, we don't have so-called hazardous waste disposal. We manage the hazardous waste of oil and other things. It was not like, unlike other industry where the pollutant is disposed of in the drain or in the soil. So my request would be that if we can get a help from DPCC, that automobile workshops are kept out of this purview of not issuing the CTO to any industry being set up in the orange category.
Yeah, this particular the judicial order of the Honorable NGT, it spoke about both the water polluting industries as well as the hazardous industries. But then both were actually tagged to two different issues. The hazardous industries were tagged to the establishment of TSDF, the treatment, storage and disposal facilities, which luckily came up, and hence we have started giving consent to all the hazardous industries. So if your showroom doesn't have a washing but has only, but highly improbable, but then if the hazardous industries are definitely getting consent post March 2020. But yes, the problem is the only water polluting industries. The problem is that NGT didn't stop with the individual ETPs. They tagged it with the larger CETPs. And that's where DPCC is totally caught up because CETP's upgradation is taking a lot of time. And it is beyond our control because they fall with the CETP societies who are actually, a society as such, consisting of industry owners in the particular industry area. So they got timelines. We are waiting. We are putting pressure on the CETP societies to actually hasten the upgradation of CETP so that we can start giving the consents.
Sure, sir. Thanks a lot. I'll just open up the discussion more. And I'll request Rajesh Kumarji, who's the Additional Commissioner of GST. Sir, I'd like to first start off the things that has been done, because GST was to help the dealers, help the trade industry in ease of doing business, single source, because earlier we had multiple taxes being imposed on us. So if you could just give us some insight that how GST has helped us in ease of doing our business today.
Good afternoon, all the dear ones, members of this August gathering. As you all know, that GST is not only revolutionary, but it's also evolutionary. As Mr. Sai has rightly said, with the rollout of GST, more than 17 plus taxes have been merged into a few. This is one of the biggest things to have happened. It's a kind of, and another very important thing is, inter alia many others, that all the states have got the single tax structure. Earlier the taxes used to vary from state to state during the era of VAT. Now it's all one. So it's a very, very big thing. and it's a very big thing towards the ease of business, doing business. And also it's faceless because there is a GST portal where you apply for your registration and you file your returns. Earlier, during the era of central excise, the representatives had to go to the office and submit their returns. So you are handling a faceless kind of scenario, and you all know what faceless means. It means transparency, and it also means reduction, great reduction in malified things or corruption. In addition, we have got e-way bill system and all. With that, the transportation of the vehicles from the manufacturing units to the dealership has also become easier. And I am sure at the ground level, you can tell me honestly, but I am sure this must have reduced in the turnaround time. That is, the time taken from the dispatch to the delivery at the dealerships. Because the check nakas, octroys, and all those things have been done away with. Then the concept of ITC, that's a very, very big thing to have happened. So what I mean to say, that GST, and we all are open to suggestions because the government feels that it's a new law, but one thing you will really appreciate, that the amendments in the law is very frequent. Some people say that it's very confusing because it keeps changing. But I always tell them one thing, that appreciate the sincerity of the government, appreciate the receptiveness of the government, that they are willing to change the law as per your requirements. So it's a great step, milestone, towards not only the economic unification of the country, but also towards ease of doing business. And there are certain precautions to be taken, which you allow me to tell you, or
Please,
you will ask
please.
me?
No, you can please go ahead, sir.
See, I have worked in various enforcement wings, including anti-evasion of GST. During my career, I have seen that we make small mistakes. Like in one case, I found that one of the automobile distributor, they had not registered at additional place of business, and they were selling goods from there. So, it amounts to clandestine removal. And the action was taken, but when the matter came to me, I said, nothing doing. We will be liberal with the company, and we guided them. Over a cup of coffee, we guided them, we sensitized them that please do not commit this kind of mistakes. Even I had to literally take on my team. My team was like very, very rigid and rule-bound. This means clandestine removal. And they had, in fact, suspended the GST registration. And for 3-4 days, and this was before some kind of festival. So you can understand, like, what is the demand and so much of expectation from the, from the clients, from the customers. So I told my team, this is not a malified mistake, or it doesn't have any mens rea. It's a bona fide mistake. They were not aware. It's as simple as that, period. And I told them that you restore the GST GST registration thing. So, but let me tell you one thing, not every officer will be that sensitive. And there can be allegations against the officer that he has colluded with the distributor and granted them that thing, leverage. But I did it. I was fearless because I could realize, and I told them one thing, look, automobiles are one item which cannot have clandestine removal because it has got multiple recording in the Indian system. First, when you sell it, you give proper invoice, you charge GST, then it goes for RTA registration also. So it is not something that is being clandestinely removed. Say, this can have clandestine removal. The bottles can have clandestine removal because they don't have any kind of serial numbers, or there is no registration. So they understood it finally. Second thing is that you have to be very careful with the, automobile dealers. They are also buying accessories. So you have to be very careful about the accessories you are buying. You know, this fake bill menace is very, very rampant, and government is very, very strict. Recently, today, there is a big conference of enforcement chiefs of GST involving both central GST and the state GST at the Hotel Ashoka. It's a very, very big thing. Tomorrow you will read in newspaper, you might have read in the morning also. So government is very, very serious and very strict also. So you have to be very careful when at least you are buying accessories, because so many times what is happening is, say I am selling accessories to you and the bill is from somebody else and the sourcing is from somebody else. When the GST officers are trying to reconcile or tally, so it's not tallying. Then they say it's no actual supply of goods have taken place. And as per GST, which is very draconian, that if the supplier has committed any mistake, the liability falls on you, which is very, very draconian. Lots of people have come up with that. It's very draconian that why should I be punished? I have bought these items from X. If X has got it from somebody and bill has been taken from somebody, so what is my fault? I also feel pained. This is a real problem, but the law is like that. So that's why I'm telling that you have to be very, very careful about this.
So you rightly pointed out, but and probably we need more of your mind officers across India, because your consideration towards the automobile trade, because you exactly pointed out very rightly that we make bill for each and everything. All the vehicles which we sell are registered. Probably ours is one of the most organized industry across the world, wherein everything gets accounted for, whether we buy things, whether we sell things. But as I like to just point out one thing, Ajay ji, please correct me if I'm wrong. GST was about seamless input credit. And when we, as you said, that when we are buying something and we pay everything through our bank accounts, and when 2 months, 3 months down the line, we realize that the GST input has not been credited to us, and when we go, probably we find the supplier has disappeared or he's not filed his returns, and we don't get the GST input. So, but we get penalized for it. So I think there has to be a system wherein within a month, because every month you're supposed to file your returns, there are dates which are given. On 20th, you need to file your final returns for the month, for the previous month. If we see that the GST input is not there for the previous month, there should be a red flag for the supplier. We should be allowed to red flag that supplier. Even the department should know that this particular guy who's given a bill has not filed his returns on time, and probably someone else who's the actual purchaser is suffering because of him. And if timely action can be taken against those people, probably the whole industry will not suffer, and it would help the industry grow more. The kind of confidence that it builds in the industry. Because today what is happening is, even in our case, I'm telling you, even in our case, when we are doing insurance business, when we repair some cars, there are big insurance companies who don't pay us GST amount. They say, once we get the credit in our accounts, only then we'll pay you the GST amount, which is actually speaking atrocious, because our GST returns are, every dealer files their returns on time. So probably we'll request you, Ajay ji, please, if in case you want to add something.
I completely agree, Sai, here. See, a lot of times because of this, small time suppliers that we have who supply materials to us, some of them are eligible to file returns in 3 months. Some of them, file returns every month. And, we've seen it that even if while he raised us an invoice, he had a valid GST registration, but later at some stage, his GST registration got cancelled. In those cases also, the GST input that we had claimed becomes ineligible. Apart from the GST input becoming ineligible, we have to pay penalty and interest also on that. So there is a huge amount of ineligible input on our books. It attracts penalty, it attracts interest, and it eats our bottom line completely. So at least there should be some mechanism for us to ensure that we get to know on a timely manner, as you said, that there has to be a flag, that even after say 15 days, 20 days, I get to know that the guy has a problem in his GST, I stop his payment or I stop next purchase from him. But these things that we get to know is say 6 months, 9 months down the line. And by that time, the relationship with the vendor would have soured, the vendor would have run away from the business, our manpower would have changed, something goes wrong. So every year there is a decent amount of money that I have to write off in my books as an ineligible GST input, and then again keep fighting the case and continue lobbying with liaising with the department to get some waiver, to get some relief. So this is one thing that yes, I would want the department to pay attention to, because we are in a business where the margins are very low. There are a lot of suppliers on our books, and if this happens, then completely our balance sheet shape changes.
You're absolutely right. I totally empathize with this issue as an officer or as a citizen of the country. I'm very, very pro-business minded. This is a real, really a glaring issue, and there are a number of court cases also pending, even at the level of Honorable Supreme Court of India. And there were some favorable judgments during the VAT era, because this menace of fake invoicing is coming from VAT era, from the VAT rules, not from the central excise rules. But it's a policy matter. Government is really struggling with the menace of fake invoicing, as we all know, whether we being in business or not. But at a personal level, what I would suggest is two things you must take care of. First, don't try to buy through the brokers. In most of the cases, during my career as an enforcement man, I have realized when we buy things from broker, they promise you lesser price. Now what happens? First of all, there is no free lunch. So when somebody is promising you a drastically lesser price than the normal prevailing market prices, something wrong has to be there. What they are doing is, say I am a broker, I will buy the goods from Mr. Sai and I will take the bill from Mr. Ajay. And why this is happening? Maybe not Mr. Sahi, but the person who I was talking about may have sold the goods without invoice. So that is why it is happening. I'll give you an example. Once I went to buy curtains. So my wife said कि नहीं GST पे नहीं करना है. तो मैंने कहा, मैंने उसको देखा, बोला नहीं, just keep quiet, नहीं पे करना मुझे. तो मैंने कहा मैं सुनूं तो सही कि होता क्या है, ground level. So then I just started asking. His name was Pramod. Pramod, tell me one thing. You are getting the rolls. आपकी inward supply हो रही है, and you are selling the पर्दा curtains to me. So outward supply भी हो रही है. How do you reconcile it? है ना? Over the invoicing, over the accounts. How do you reconcile it? Because तुमने मेरे को तो बेच दिया, से एक रोल बेच दिया, मेरे पर्दों में एक रोल लग गया. तो एक रोल की तो एंट्री नहीं है कहीं पर भी, because I'm not going to pay you the GST. तो बोला नहीं, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं सर, सामान हम आपको बेचेंगे, and there are lots of people moving around in the market. They want bills. They just want the bills. तो हम बिल उनको दे देंगे. So try to understand one thing. Don't buy through brokers. Most of the cases, I have seen people coming and they had valid papers, they are valid documents of banking transactions and all, but they were still being penalized because the onus falls on them. Because L1, L2 नहीं था पीछे में. You understand? Layer 1, Layer 2 suppliers, they were not there. वो सब भाग थे ही नहीं. Bill कहीं से था, सामान कहीं से था. So you have to be very, very careful. Second thing is, Government of India wants to have a star accreditation kind of system. Like exporters में आपने सुना होगा star trading, star वो होते star export houses and all. So Government of India wants that there should be some kind of accreditation. Like those who are reliable suppliers, reliable businessmen, they will be given some kind of accreditation. So that will be a kind of thing that you do try to do business with them, those kind of people. But still, it was one of the major concepts of GST when it was being rolled out. But unfortunately, it has not seen, it's not yet been implemented. But in the meantime, one more thing I would suggest, at least before you start doing business, please go check his, take his this GST number, and you can, it's an open source. Anybody can go on the GST portal and check about his antecedents, whether he's an active entity or not, and you can even see the status of his return filing. So at least to some extent you will be safe. So no broker and check the antecedents.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, sir. But on a very lighter note, so what happened to that retailer, sir, who was selling curtains?
Later on, he came to my office.
Okay. Okay. So,
Sir, since you are from the anti-vision
Yeah.
department, and I believe all of us are very, terrorized.
Yeah, it's a
when
very,
somebody
very
from anti-vision.
terrifying kind of wing.
So I would like you to throw some light on what are our rights, on what grounds anti-vision can come.
Yes, very good question.
So if you can give us some guidance so that at least at least someone who's just trying to extort money from us, or anybody who's trying to just play, at least if our dealer friends are informed about it,
Yes.
then we will take a call accordingly.
It's a very good question. Day before yesterday only, I was talking to one of my lawyer friends, and we were just discussing that nowadays GST has become the hero. Even the police officers are faking or pretending to be GST officers. There are some cases in the newspaper, and then lots and lots of con men. They are pretending to be IRS. Like 2 days back, somebody was caught in UP, and he was faking to be an IRS officer. It was in the newspaper. So on the lighter note, but you are very right, we should understand what are the checks against this kind of thing. When the officers will come, first and foremost is they should carry a valid warrant, search warrant. There are two kinds of visits. One is inspection and another is search. The difference between inspection and search is when they come for inspection, they request you to show you the documents. First, they request you. One. Number two, they cannot make seizures. They cannot seize your computers or your account books or anything from your premises. Very, very important. And on the other hand, during the search, like it's more like, more forceful. Whether you show it or them, they have all powers to do it forcibly. Forcibly, I don't mean that having any fisticuffs or physical abuse, no. But they can force you, no, I will see it and you have to comply. Second thing is they can even make search and they can make even seizures also. So first of all, we have to understand this, that on the warrant, it will be written search or inspection. So first see the warrant, and it should be issued by an officer not lower than joint commissioner. It has to be either joint commissioner or additional commissioner. Only deputy commissioners, assistant commissioners or superintendents, they don't have the power. So this is very, very important. So once you are satisfied, the warrant will carry one name, that the warrant is being issued to, say, XYZ. So you have all the rights to ask for his ID card. That, okay, sir, please sit, show me your ID card. You can always cross-check the ID card with the name of the officer against whom that warrant has been issued. Look at the ID card carefully. It may be a fake, even the warrant can be fake. Warrant can also be fake because it's not a problem, because if somebody has one warrant from somebody else, so he can copy it on computer. And even the stamps are very easily made. But in 99% of the cases, we are doing e-signing. So look at whether it is ink signed or e-signed. So you can look at that. Then, most important thing, but not least, it has a DIN number, document identification number. Please, if you even forget all the things what I have said, please don't forget this DIN thing. DIN thing again can be seen on the open source. You can go to the CBIC portal, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. There is a provision, you can check the DIN number. If you enter the DIN number, it will show whether it is actually issued by the department or not. And you will see everything, when it was issued, by whom and all. This was to prevent the massive amount of, people were masquerading as, faking as GST officers or customs officers. So this is very, very important. Then, so till now, you have seen the DIN number and the warrant and I-card. Then they have to offer you body search. The officers, when they enter, they have to offer themselves for body search. Sir, you can check me. Because there are all the chances of things being planted. Somebody can come with something and plant it. So in case of all the searches, not only GST, this thing is universally applicable, body search. Somebody can, plant narcotics or a gun or anything like that. So for all the enforcement agencies, it can be income tax, it can be GST, or it can be customs. There are agencies like DRI, there are customs preventive, you all know. So that is very important. And finally, they will have a panchanama, and there will be 2 panchas. So you can have your own punch also. You can call somebody else. So these are the precautions you should take. And it's a very, very good question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving us this insight, and hopefully we should not have any searches at our establishments, because I feel, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel that searches are only granted by the officers when they have solid proof that there has been some evasion of taxes at the particular establishment. Unless and until they have that particular kind of proof, no officer will allow any searches at any of the establishments. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, you are very, very right, Mr. Sai. Searches are very draconian, and it is the last resort. Normally, there can be an audit, which is again very, very friendly, or there can be inspection, say in case of some information from some outside agency about some kind of L1, L2 problem, that fake billing problem, there will be inspection. Searches happen only when there is a solid evidences on the ground. Normally, we do not allow searches.
Yeah, thank you. So we've got Sanjay Saxena ji with us today.
I will just...
Yes, sir. Please, please.
One more thing. We as the department, we are always there at your service. Whenever you have any problem or lack of understanding, please do visit the nearest office. And the new breed of IRS officers, they are very, very, business oriented. They support entrepreneurship. They will always treat you with a glass of water and coffee. Don't feel hesitant. Go there. At least I can vouch for myself and my friends whom I know. So, go there. Don't take the help of middlemen. There are lots and lots of middlemen moving around. कि मैं आपका registration करवा दूंगा, मैं आपकी registration revoke करवा दूंगा, तो मैं ये करवा दूंगा, मैं ITC अगर block है तो वो करवा दूंगा. You directly straight away go. Meet not below the rank of assistant commissioner. You meet assistant commissioner or deputy commissioner, or you can even, you all are very, very esteemed members of the Indian economy, and you all are very, very esteemed citizens of the country. You are not only generating wealth, but more than that, you are generating employment also. And as we all know, automobile sector is, very, very prime pillar of Indian economy or any economy worldwide. Not only taxation, but it also gives value to the economy, value to the lifestyle. When we go out and we are in, this car, that car, how we think. We come back with an image of that country. Thankfully in Delhi NCR, all good cars are to be seen all around. But, coming from a small town, in the beginning, I also used to think, oh my God, when I went to Dubai first, such nice, lovely cars over here. So you all are contributing to that, one. And secondly, never fall for middlemen. Third, let me tell you, ease of doing business is very, very important, which everybody talked over here. Mr. Manish also talked about that during the inaugural address. Government of India takes ease of doing business very seriously. World Bank team is in town, and ease of doing business is going ahead. If you have any problem, do write to the FADA. FADA can take it up with the ministry. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'll just take 1 minute on what he said. that we should not be afraid of going to the department, because in Rajasthan, of late, there were a lot of audits which were happening with the auto dealers, and kind of being, there were few dealers who were getting harassed. So we decided that we'll go to the commissioner taxation, and we went, explained him the issues, and so you will not believe, we had a seminar planned within a week wherein all the dealers were called, and we were told that in case you're having audits, you can ask for any documents, any clarifications from the person who's conducting your audit. Don't be afraid, and if you're not getting answers, we are the officers sitting on the dais. You can speak to us directly, you can write to us directly, or you can visit our office directly. And it helped us a lot in resolving our issues while those audits were being done. So we've got Sanjay ji with us today also. He's from the transport department. Sanjay ji, I will not ask you the question of what your department is doing in ease of doing business, because the minister was here and he's already clarified, and we all know the kind of faceless facility that you've done in Delhi, the kind of ease with which the dealers today are operating. So I'll just like to add few things in it and take your comments on the same. We all know that used vehicle business plays a very important role in our trade. And as on day in India, if you talk about the figures, it is for every new vehicle which is sold, used car ratio is 1:1.2%. Practically speaking, it is not exactly for every 10 new vehicles, it is not 22 old vehicles which are sold, it is much more than that. But it is not getting registered, it is not getting accounted for in the trade. And we've got Rajesh Kumar ji also, who's from GST. For all used vehicles which we sell, there is a GST component also. Yes. So today what happens is, when we are doing the used vehicle business, it is a compulsion for us to do a used vehicle business in our trade. And while we do that, we are actually competing with people or with the roadside used car dealers who are operating from their houses or from a single outlet, and they don't have GST registrations, they don't have to transfer those vehicles, they only use a 100 rupee stamp paper on which those vehicles are sold. Sir, in 2022, there was a GSR which was issued by the Ministry of Road Transport. If I'm not wrong, the number was 901E, in which the exact definition of dealers for registered vehicle was defined, wherein each and every person who's dealing with used vehicles was supposed to get a trade certificate. Say, for example, if we have a trade certificate for new cars, we are supposed to get a trade certificate for used cars as well. And even those people who are operating from their homes or operating from single outlets or from shops, even they are supposed to have those same trade certificates for becoming the authorized dealer for registered vehicles. So once we have a same parameters for them also, so that even they come in the ambit of tax, they have to transfer all the vehicles, they have to register all the vehicles, they have to pay GST on the used vehicles which they sell. So it becomes a level playing field for us, because today we are actually paying more taxes when we do the business in a regularized way of used vehicles. So probably I'd like to take your input, if you can, on the same, and how the department is wanting, or by when it would be getting implemented in the state of Delhi.
Good afternoon, everybody. Actually, I am from DTC, not from Transport Department, okay. And we are dealing with this electric buses and CNG buses, as our MOT informed during the inaugural session. That we have a large fleet of, I think, I can say that it is the one of largest fleet of electric buses in India. It is 1250 fleet in Delhi, electric buses Delhi. And earlier we were having largest fleet of CNG buses in Asia also. But as far as the question raised by Mr. Sai is that regarding disposal of old used cars and regarding some circular from Ministry of Central Ministry. I am not very much aware, as I informed that I am dealing with the Delhi Transport Corporation, not from, actually our MD, Mrs. Shinde was expected to join this seminar, but due to some busy schedule, she couldn't attend this seminar. And she directed me at the last minute to attend this, and I came here. I am not aware of that circular or
No issue, sir. I
from,
can understand. So,
if anything regarding DTC is concerned, I will try my best to answer that.
So I have a suggestion rather on a DTC. So Delhi has a lot of DTC depots, and most of these depots are at a very prime location. So one, we would wish that if the DTC depots can be converted into parking or charging space, so that Delhi adoption of electric vehicle charging for public. So adoption of these electric vehicles become faster. So these DTC depots are, since the access to these DTC depots is easy, they have enough space during the day when the buses move out of the depot. So if that can be done, probably the range anxiety or the charging anxiety of normal people in Delhi can go down.
Yeah, very rightly said. As far as our properties are concerned, we have a number of properties at prime location and very large properties of DTC depots. And if this would have been converted into commercial property or like a parking for malls, etc., on the lines of metro, then our position could have been different from today. But it is not. It was not easy due to this land was on lease from PWD, and we were not allowed to convert our depots into commercial property. But after some efforts, we have given order to NBCC to convert our some depots to work as a parking space, multi-level parking space. And as far as the electric charging is concerned, it is in process. And in number of depots, you will see that we are giving facility of electric charging to private vehicles also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So, I'll again come back to Mr. Jayachandran ji. Sir, you talked about getting the faceless certificates for CTE and CTO, and it being in a time, in a defined time, the dealers are supposed to get both of these certificates. But on the contrary, we feel that there's no set timeline, I guess, defined for all these processes. So it's like you apply for a certificate of establishment, and then you don't get it. Then invariably, though it is a faceless, I'm sorry, I'm saying this, but though it is faceless, but still you have to go to and visit the department and ask them, and then there are probably excuses given just to ensure that all the persons who have applied, they come on the table to the department. So if something can be done or some insight can be given to us that what exactly is the law, what is the time frame within which we can get these things.
There are clear timelines prescribed for issue of CT and CTO. I think, I think the industry has been misled on this. And this is really serious if consents are not being issued beyond 120 days. And legally you are safe because there is a provision of deemed consent.
Okay.
So even if at 120 days you're not getting a consent, it's considered as a deemed consent.
So it's
that's
basically
sound, yeah.
So it's basically 120 days for both for
CT and CTO. Yeah.
CDE and CTO. Okay. Ajay, anything from?
Sir, another issue in that is that anything above 250 square meter, we require the NOC. But most of these automobile workshops are in the shed, and for the shed we don't get the fire NOC. So the problem is that the automobile workshops are treated at par with the other industry which is little dangerous or has a fire issue. Or so our request would be that since automobile industry doesn't have that kind of a hazard in terms of operation, it doesn't disturb the neighborhood. So if that issue can be relooked so that we get a license easier, because getting a fire license itself on the shed property, tin shed property is difficult. Because of the nature of our business, we require more of a height, and the RCC buildings are not feasible for most of the workshops. So that problem is there. And second is that the approvals that we get is, I think, on the floor wise. We don't get a single approval for the entire building. If the workshop is in the 4th floor, So I think the approval has to be applied floor-wise. So we need to apply for 4 different DPCC license for 4 floors, if that the case be.
I believe this has already been taken, brought to a notice by the association. And I think we ran through the guidelines of both the Delhi Pollution Control Committee as well as the Central Pollution Control Committee. So we couldn't actually have a middle path there. I think we can have a relook into both these issues and kind of resolve these issues.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Sanjay ji, since Ms. Shinde is not here, so I'll just like to, for the audience, we had a lot of questions regarding the transport department prepared, but since she's not there, I'll just probably go ahead with the suggestions which were there. Probably, if something can be done from your side, convey it to Mrs. Shinde. We'll be doing it in writing to her, but I'll just convey the thinking from our sector today at this forum. So one was the pain area for getting the vehicles registered which are in the name of the company. So, sir, in 2021, the MORTH came with a revised circular on a new Motor Vehicle Act, which actually said that all the automobile dealers, they become the applicants on behalf of the customer. It was supposed to be a faceless registration on the era of faceless registration. So, and that faceless registration was supposed to be for the fully built up vehicles. Now, fully built up vehicles included even the private and the commercial vehicles. There was no distinguishing between the fully built up vehicles being bought by individuals or bought by the company, those fully built up vehicles being used for private or for commercial usage. See, the idea was to get all these vehicles. It's supposed to be a seamless registration of those vehicles at the dealer point itself. So that means if at 8 o'clock at night, if a customer walks into our showroom, he has given the entire money, we could register that vehicle, the number could be generated, irrespective whether it's company or it's individual. So individual is happening in Delhi, but the company thing is still not happening, wherein we take Delhi example and we've been getting a lot of things done in other states, but this thing is one which is a sore point. I thought I will probably bring it to your knowledge, and it doesn't happen in anywhere else in the country. So in everywhere, whether it's individual or the company, the vehicle automatically gets registered. Commercial vehicles, yes, we're still struggling to get it registered at the dealership point, but there have been states now which have onboarded even that process. So because in commercial vehicles, you don't require fitness for a new vehicle for first 2 years. So there is no requirement for fitness. The vehicle is not supposed to register the regional transport office or for any inspection. So that was one point which we wanted to bring across. And when we do the registration, there are a set of hard copies which we are supposed to give it to the transport department. Najiji, is there any timeline within which we are supposed to do it?
7 days.
7 days. So every dealer, whatever registrations he's doing, he's supposed to give those documents to the transport department, and those documents are stored in the department. So Rajasthan was one of the first stage in which they have done away with the papers or depositing of documents. So Rajasthan today has become faceless and even paperless. So in the sense that we are not supposed to deposit. So with all due respect, whenever you're giving a file to the transport department, you go month later and you tell them, boss, please pull out this file. I can guarantee you 99% that file will not be traceable, because within 30 days, the way or the place where those files have been kept, you can't trace that file. As far as the IT Act is concerned, IT Act 2020, so whatever soft copy of documents are getting uploaded on Vahan, there is a complete trace of those documents. It can be easily retrieved, and it is admissible even in the court of law. So what the other states are doing is they're giving those documents back to the customer and taking an affidavit. Even that affidavit is being uploaded on Vahan in soft copy, which states that I have taken the delivery of the vehicle, I have the hard copy of documents, the original hard copy of documents, which includes Form 21, your Form 22, everything, the entire set of hard copies of documents are with me. As and when these hard copies would be required by the transport officer, I will produce these documents to them. Matter ends, finished. So it gives you more ease of doing business as far as the registration process is concerned. Last but not the least, there was the registration process has been the printing of RCs is now being given to dealers. So it's a great step. You deliver a car and then immediately you even give the RC to the customer. I don't know how much money are dealers in Delhi getting any money out of it? So it's an expense on dealership.
We get a 100 rupee fee for the printing.
But I think the cost would be more
Cost
than...
is much higher.
Cost is much higher. So as far as the new Motor Vehicle Act is concerned, in the new Motor Vehicle Act, there is no requirement for hard copy of registration. So the registration can be downloaded from Vahan. The soft copy is valid. All your challans, everything, we nowadays we're getting all challans online to us. So hard copy is not required. You're not supposed to keep the hard copy. A hard copy saved in DigiLocker or saved in your phone is more than enough. So if probably we can do away, it would be kind of more of ease of doing business for the dealers and even for the customers. So this was from my side as far as, because I thought that we've worked on those points. We'll give you a written presentation on this, but I thought we'll just convey. I think we can open the house now for any questions to be asked. Sir, with your permission?
Yeah, why not?
So we're through with the panel discussion. Anything. Any questions you'd like to ask? Yeah. Can we have the mic, please?
Hello. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I'm Udit from Bagalink. This question is for Rajesh Kumar ji. So, under what circumstances, like the inspection can happen? Like, why would those guys come? Your team come for inspection? And normally, sometimes we see that they threat that we are going to change, convert it to a search and do. So what are the circumstances under which it can be done so?
Thanks, dear, for raising a very pertinent and good question. Inspections, as I told earlier, when the situation is not very grave, or when there is a normal reference from some other commissionerate or from DGGI, that there is a chance of some kind of issues with L1 and L2, or chiefly it's more on assumptions, or also on the basis of data analytics. In short, when the evidences are not very concrete and evidences do not warrant seizure of the say ledgers or seizure of the computers or any other things from the premises of the business, then in that case, we give permission for inspection. Yes, it can be converted into search. Say the team goes over there. Now, there can be 2-3 scenarios. First of all, when the team finds or feels that the matter is very grave, there are lots and lots of evidences over there, which is indicating towards large-scale tax evasion, then it can be converted into search, one. Secondly, when there is a resistance to the inspection, when the business premises, they are not cooperating, we can convert it into search and use force. Force, again, don't mistake me for hitting or beating. But yes, then we have got greater authority.
Yeah.
One thing that I wanted to ask is such, inspection or search, are those notices uploaded on the portal?
Yeah.
So can I, if somebody comes, can I open my portal and check it that if I have some, just to ensure that there is no tout or some unscrupulous person?
Once again, I will reiterate that there is this concept of DIN number, document identification number. We are the first department to start with DIN number, especially during COVID times, because there were lots and lots of information of people masquerading, people pretending to be GST officers. Later on, it was even extended to customs. So what happens, somebody comes, please look at the DIN number. It is on the right top, on the top. Normally on the right hand side, but in some of the prints it may be on the left also. So you will find DIN, D-I-N. So you go to the portal, you check CBIC, Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs. There you have this option of checking the DIN number. You click on that tab and enter the DIN number. It will show whether it is genuine or not. It's very, very important. You must check the DIN number.
Thank you, sir. Can we have the mic on that side, please?
Hi, so this is with regards to the transport department. It is just a suggestion actually. So like how the Delhi government has, for revenue registrar offices, what it has done is that you may have a property anywhere in Delhi, but you can choose to get it registered in any of the registrar offices in Delhi. So can the same thing be done for registration of vehicles, like if our dealership is in a particular zone and we can only get the vehicles registered in that particular RTO? Can this be done away with and we're allowed to get the vehicles registered through any of the RTOs, so that there is no particular person that we have to deal with in case they try to?
So I'll take this question. So in the new amendments on the Motor Vehicle Act, within a state, a dealer can register a vehicle at any of the RTOs. So we as dealers are applicants on behalf of the customer. So you can put that application in any of the RTOs across the state. Say for example, I am a dealer in Jaipur. Earlier, I could register vehicles only in the city of Jaipur. Today, if a customer walks into my showroom and he is a customer from Jaipur only, but he is wanting a good number which is available in Udaipur, I can give him a Jaipur address on the invoice, but the number can be of Udaipur. So for a state, within a state, I'm not talking about outside the state, within a state of your operation, you can register your vehicle at any of the RTOs. As per law, it is absolutely correct.
No, so in Delhi, so if my TC is at a particular
RTO. It is not, so TC, once you have the trade certificate identifies your jurisdiction. Right. So as far as your renewal for your trade certificate is concerned, I believe Delhi it is 5 years trade certificate that you get. After 5 years, when you renew your trade certificate, only then you have to apply to that registration authority or that particular, say if it is Rajpur Road or whatever it is. So you have to go to that particular authority for applying your trade certificate. It is only limited to that. As far as registering vehicle is concerned, you can register, you can use any of the 9, 10, 12, whatever registering authorities is there. If a customer wants a particular good number in XYZ RTO, you can apply online and you'll get that number.
So if we're talking about fancy numbers, I'm talking about general registration.
I'm also talking about general registration, sir.
Okay.
So even for general registration, you can apply at any of the RTOs. I don't know whether it has been implemented in Delhi or not, but in most of the states today, it is one state, one dealership. You can register the vehicle anywhere in any of the RTOs.
So from what I know, it's not being implemented in Delhi.
Sai, it's not like that. In Delhi, if I am a dealer in say DL12, Vasat Vihar, I can issue a permanent registration of DL12 only.
So then probably we from FADA need to give a representation to the Delhi Transport Department, because the law clearly states a customer can go to any registering authority in the state to get his vehicle registered. A customer. So we are the applicants on behalf of the customer. It is very clearly mentioned. So probably I'll request Garima and Anilji to give a representation, and I'm sure it helps, because sometimes what happens is just because of the heck of getting a particular number, the customer actually goes to another dealership.
Right.
Wherein we have worked on doing the test drives and all, doing the probing, and then we lose the customer just because the customer is wanting a registration number of a different authority.
And also, if, like for just submission of the documents like hard copies that you were mentioning, if we're doing away with that, then it's something else. But otherwise, if we are allowed to just
If it is under my ambit, I would have done it today only. So probably we all need to request Anilji and Garimaji for that, but we'll definitely give a representation on that. So any further questions?
Yeah, this is Pratva from Electric.
Sir, you can come
Yeah,
a bit forward.
coming
please, sir.
forward.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Pradeep Vadva from Galaxy Automobiles. Now, most of the licenses are interconnected. See, if I get CTO, I get MCD licenses. If I get MCD licenses, I get CTO. Sometimes there's a delay in getting, though, yes, thank you very much. Now the licenses are for 5 to 10 years from DPCC and even from MCD for 3 to 5 years. But sometimes there's a delay. My MC doesn't give me license because CTO is not there or the fire is missing. So is there any relaxation we get from the departments? That's one question. And the other one is the washing. I understand it's totally banned now in Delhi. We need to move to the waterless washing. That's question I'm throwing to the forum, all the dealers. Are you working on it?
I think I answered it previously. Regarding the second question, regarding the washing activity and the ban by the Honorable NGT, I mean, they have tagged it to the upgradation of CETPs. So we are kind of helpless now unless FADA approaches the tribunal and puts in an application requesting for a stay on that particular order. But otherwise, DPCC is committed towards complying with the orders of the NGT, but we are putting pressure definitely on the CTP societies to complete the upgradation of the CTPs as early as possible. And number one, regarding your CTOs, as you rightly told, we increased the validity period of all the concerns from 1 year to 3 years to 10 years. So that's a welcome step as far as ease of doing business is concerned. But yes, if there are difficulties, I already told there's provision of deemed consent, so you should not be actually harassed by any of the pollution guys.
Thank you.
So last question, because we're already out of time. Okay, we'll take last two questions.
Hi, good evening. My question is for Sanjay ji. Sanjay ji, in 2022 and 23, the Transport Department came out with additional permits for electric L4 autos in Delhi, which has been a boom for both the driver come owners because they are earning additional revenue, and saving on the CNG cost. For the passengers who are using that auto, a noiseless ride in those autos has been, a very, very welcome change. So, it's just a humble request if we can have a notification where the existing CNG permits that are there for L4 autos, those can also be replaced by electric autos. Currently, they can only be replaced by CNG. So if we can have more electric autos on road, I think the city will look better. We have less noise pollution. And the residents and the drivers will be able to earn much more than what they're earning today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I am noting your suggestion. I will convey.
So if this question is related to electric three-wheelers, permit for those electric, the battery is 4,000, more than 4,000 or less than 4,000? L4 category. So, okay. Because there has been, so we will discuss it offline, no issues. Yes, sir.
Hi, good evening, doctor. My question is to Dr. Jayachandran, sir, actually. My name is Kamal Kumar. I'm from a Delhi dealer, actually. You used a word, sir, deemed grant of the CTO or the CTE. What is the period that you talk about if you apply for the CTO or for the CTO and if your application is not responded? What is the period that we look into that is considered as a deemed?
120 days. It's clear on the website.
120 days.
120 days. 4 months.
What happens in case some inspector comes and talk about that you do not have a CTO or CTE we are running a workshop actually.
Yeah.
So we can actually show them the application which was applied prior to 120 days. So he would not be harassing.
If they have not raised any clarification within 120 days,
Yeah,
you are legally in a sound position. Yeah.
It says it's pending. Yeah. So it is considered to be a deemed
It's
grant.
written there in the Water Act, statutorily.
Okay.
Statutorily, it's written in the Water Act.
All right.
So you can always raise that provision.
So if the application is for the CTO and CTE with the washing facility, what happens in that case?
That is, if after March 2020, then it's covered by the court order. Then, I mean, the statutory in Water Act is not coming to your rescue.
As long as we are working on the washer...
CTO, no issues.
No issues. Yeah. But if you do not have a CTO or CTE, we can still operate a workshop without washing.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, sir.
So, thanks a lot, gentlemen. I'd like to thank you all on behalf of FADA for such a open discussion. And I'm sure post this discussion, there would be a lot of working for all of us, and we can probably move ahead, and it would help us in ease of our doing business. So thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone. It was definitely an insightful session. So many questions coming from you. Make sure that you want information and you want knowledge. So with that, now we want to express our gratitude by felicitating each panelist sitting here. So I would be requesting following names to come forward for a beautiful, heartfelt appreciation. So first off, I would like to invite Mr. Rajkumar Saluja ji. Is he here? Can we have Mr. Pradeep Kumar? Huge round of applause. Mr. Pradeep Kumar will be felicitating Dr. K.S. Jayachandran ji. I would be requesting Mr. J.S. Rekhi to please come on the stage. Thank you so much, Pradeep sir. Mr. J.S. Rekhi ji is going to felicitate Mr. Rajesh Kumar. Huge round of applause for this moment right here. Thank you so much. Moving on, I would request Mr. Udit Daggaji to please kindly come on the dais. He's going to felicitate Mr. Sanjay Saxena ji. Thank you so much.